So we get this question a lot, Brian and I do. Would we move back to Warrenton, Virginia if we were to do it all over again? Listen, we've raised our kids here, we've built a life here in the community, and we run our business here. So today I want to discuss with you our honest answers and 5 reasons why. So number 1 is Warrenton has a small town feel. I personally absolutely love that. I feel like I'm part of something and part of the community. I love the First Fridays. I love the farmers market every Saturday. I love running into people in the coffee shops, at the breweries, and at the restaurants downtown. It really makes it feel like a community. There is one part, if I'm honest, that sometimes I can do the duck and hide. I know you've done it when you're in the grocery store, or for me, probably Tractor Supply when I'm covered in hay and dirt and I see someone I know, I do the duck and hide, and you know what that is. So it's great for knowing people and running into them, and sometimes you just gotta sidestep them. And number 2 is access to nature, my absolute favorite. So in Warrenton, you have the access to multiple parks. There's Crockett Park with a huge lake that you can rent boats, go kayaking. In some neighborhoods, there are lakes that you can also fish and kayak. There's Rady Park, which has got an abundance of child's play equipment and a field for running and walking. There's the Wharf, which has got all the soccer fields. It's got volleyball. It's got the indoor water park, and it's got a skate park. So there's lots of nature here, and if you want to really hit it up, you just head right out of the main town of Warrenton up 211 to Skyline Drive. That's where you're going to get it all.
And number 3, you generally get more house and land for the money versus closer into DC, Arlington, and Fairfax counties, and Loudoun counties as well. However, with that being said, we are continuing to see properties increase in value because the demand is getting stronger for the folks that live in towards DC. A lot of these folks are wanting to move out to the country because they love the privacy, they love the mountains, they love the open fields, and I think a lot of them just like to breathe deep into this beautiful environment we call home. And so number 4 on the list is strength in community. Well, what do I mean by that? Well, a perfect example is not too long ago we had a big storm that came through the area and it knocked down a tree. And when you're living back here out here on the country roads, it could be hours before VDOT gets out here to remove a tree. So it's interesting is that all of a sudden you'll see the community within probably 15 or 20 minutes, someone's going to pull up in a pickup truck and pull out a big old chainsaw, and they're already cutting away at it. That's the community that I'm talking about. Same thing if you have a flat tire or you need help of any type, you're always going to have a neighbor or another citizen of Fauquier County that's going to actually step in and actually give you some help. So I don't know if it's like that in the city. I would imagine that it maybe not, but out here it's almost a guarantee. So community and strength of community is super important to why Di and I love this area called Warrenton, Virginia, and quite frankly, the entire county of Fauquier.
Okay, number 5, it's not perfect. So if you're a commuter, there are great commuter routes. However, sometimes those drives can be really long, and sometimes they can not just be long, but also very backed up. Here's an example. Brian went out to Falls Church to show a property the other day to one of our clients. It took him 60 minutes to get there, 60 minutes to get back, because he used the hot lanes. The fast toll, $70 there and $70 back. So that's a hard pill to swallow. Not perfect. We've also actually, in the last year, we've moved clients out from Warrenton and beyond towards Front Royal even, and 3 of them have done it for 2 years, and their jobs have shifted a little bit, or their kids have gotten a little older and into more activities, which requires them to be shuffling them all around into the actual town of Warrenton, not on the outskirts or further out. So that commute has just driven them crazy, and that is why they decided to sell where they lived and move closer into Warrenton and even more towards the Gainesville area. So commute is not perfect. Second part is the traffic. It's picking up since we moved here. So right through the main town of Warrenton is access to 211, which goes straight out to beautiful Skyline Drive. that gets very crowded in the fall when all the leaf peepers come out. It also is the access point to a lot of developments that are coming in the Culpeper region. So we're getting a lot of cut-through traffic from the DC area, any points out west, straight through town to Culpeper. And it's created a lot of backup. Fortunately, they've been working on the roads and I think it's helping. They've made some improvements, but we're just seeing an increase in the traffic over the years. And then there's shopping. Now, everything that I personally need on a daily basis is right in town. I go to the grocery store, I can hit Marshall's if I need to pick up some socks or a shirt or a t-shirt or something, or Tractor Supply for all my hardware needs and needs for the animals. But when it comes to higher end clothing or some specific items, you're not gonna find it here. The good news is Amazon delivers everywhere.